You are going to eat today. You already know that. But you probably do not know why you will choose what you choose, why you will want more than you need, or why the food that feels the most satisfying is almost never the food that is best for you. The answer to all of those questions is not in your kitchen. It is not in your willpower. It is buried about 300,000 years in the past, in the gut of an ancestor who had no idea they were programming you. The story of what you eat is not a story about nutrition. It is a story about survival. And once you understand it, you will never look at a craving the same way again. Start with sugar. Your desire for sweetness is one of the most powerful drives in your entire nervous system. It is stronger than habit. It is stronger than preference. In controlled studies, humans and primates will override pain, fear, and social pressure to obtain sweet food. This is not weakness. This is ancient engineering. In the wild, sweetness signals one thing with near-perfect reliability: calories, ripe fruit, dense energy. The kind of food that kept your ancestors alive through seasons when nothing else was available. Your brain learned, over millions of years, to treat sweetness as a priority signal. Find it, eat it. Eat as much of it as possible, because it might not be there tomorrow. The problem is that tomorrow came, and the day after that. And the food industry spent the last century reverse engineering exactly what your ancient brain cannot resist and putting it in every aisle of every supermarket on Earth. You are not addicted to sugar. You are running a survival program designed for a world where sugar was rare, in a world where sugar is everywhere. The program has not changed, the environment has. The same is true for fat. Your craving for fatty food is not a flaw in your character. It is a feature of your evolutionary history. Fat is the most calorie-dense macronutrient available in nature. More than twice the energy per gram of carbohydrate or protein. For your ancestors, finding a fatty food source, a piece of marrow, a cache of nuts, a fat-rich animal, was a significant survival event. The brain responded by releasing dopamine, the same neurotransmitter involved in reward, motivation, and pleasure. Eating fat felt good because surviving felt good. Your brain was rewarding behavior that kept you alive. The anthropologist Richard Wrangham spent decades studying the relationship between cooking, diet, and human evolution. His central argument, laid out in his landmark work Catching Fire, is that cooking, specifically the cooking of starchy tubers and animal fat, was the catalyst for the dramatic expansion of the human brain roughly 1.8 million years ago. Cooking made calories easier to extract. It broke down cell walls, denatured proteins, and predigested starches in a way that raw food could not. Your ancestors who cooked got more energy from the same food. They had more fuel for larger brains. And those larger brains figured out how to get even more food. You are the descendant of the best eaters in human history. The ones who found food. The ones who ate it when they found it. The ones who never passed up an opportunity for calories because passing up calories in an unpredictable environment was a fast way to die. Every instinct you have around food, the urge to finish what is on your plate, the inability to stop eating once you start something palatable, the way your appetite seems to ignore the fact that you are already full, these are not personal failings. They are inherited survival strategies. The researcher Paul Breslin, a sensory neuroscientist who studies taste and nutrition, has documented how the human palate is specifically calibrated to detect combinations of fat, sugar, and salt with extraordinary sensitivity. These three elements in combination trigger what researchers call the bliss point, a convergence of pleasure signals that is almost impossible to voluntarily override. The food industry did not discover this by accident. They discovered it through decades of research into the exact same evolutionary architecture that kept your ancestors alive. They are not selling food. They are selling superstimuli. Inputs that hit your ancient reward circuitry harder than anything nature ever produced. But here is what makes the human relationship with food stranger than almost any other animals. You do not just eat for fuel, you eat for meaning. Your ancestors used food as social glue, as ritual, as identity, as communication. The shared meal is one of the oldest human institutions on Earth. Anthropologists studying hunter-gatherer communities across wildly different cultures have found the same pattern again and again. Food is divided, shared, and distributed according to social rules that are as complex and binding as any legal system. Who eats first? Who gets the most? Who is excluded? Food is power. Food is belonging. Food is love expressed.